is Mr. Lowry once again. I am here and I'm just doing a quick recap video of lesson 219. This is a lesson that was taught on November the 5th of 2021. Now, in the class on that particular day, we spent majority of the time looking at the polynomial assessment and talking about the problems that end up giving us some issues as a whole, and also preparing for our plan of action that was emailed out to everyone a couple of days ago or November the 4th. So definitely check your student email account. You can also find that information that will be posted in our classroom as well. But I'll use another video or send that back out again. The information for the plan of action. There's 2 plans of action to retake that second topic. And so what we ended up doing in class regarding new material was to reuse a piece of information or a skill that we utilize on the assessment to be able to launch into stress forward what we're currently talking about. If you're unsure what this topic is that we're referring to, we are currently in the rational function as I talked about this past week. And in this particular unit, at this point, we're going to go back and we're going to end up using polynomial division. Now, during the teaching of it, there was 2 ways you can do polynomial division. You either were able to do it either by LPD or long polynomial division, which is a bit of an old school long division just with polynomials. But what ended up happening is the majority of students ended up using what's called the box method, the area method, to be able to do the division. And so what I want to do, I want to go through just a couple of these examples to help you fill out what was your takeaway problem for this particular topic or lesson. And so the page or the chart, that's our main focus, you'll be able to find on page 203 of your workbook. And on the top of page 203, you'll see this table that is on the screen as I'm talking. And on that particular screen, what you end up having is you end up having a lot of functions on the left-hand side. And you'll see some questions such as the degree of num, degree of den, rewrite in the form of all these function notation, and then in behaviors. Now, on Monday, I am going to plan to come back to this table and get some more insight on exactly what everything means in relation to our topic. But I do want to go through and just do a couple of problems just so you are able to see if you are successful related to this function and what the table is asking you to fill out. So here we go. So on this particular table, as we can see, I'm going to start off with the g of x. And I want to start by dividing that just to give you some context that are there. So on that particular page, as you saw, the problem was, and let me change my color so it looks a little bit better here. There we go. So it was g of x is equal to -5 over x plus 2. Now, if you're going to do division, if we do the box method, you end up with x and plus 2 on the left-hand side. And then we end up having our table. But what's interesting is that the only number we can put in is -5. So we end up with the situation of trying to figure out what is the result if you divide -5 by the x. What's interesting in this point, and this is a huge point I want to make to make sure we got it, is that when we got to this point in topic 2, we weren't able to do anything. We would state the SI remainder and go from there. That is still the case here. We are not able to divide something that does not have a variable on top by something that has a variable or exponent in our denominator. So we're going to have to say that 0 So we're going to have to say that it's going to be 0. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to have 0. Now, when we have the 0, 0 times 2 is 0. So given that we want given that we want -5, because we don't have anything, like nothing is there, then we're going to have to put -5 here again. I know it sounds weird, but watch what's about to happen. So in this, if we write it in that format that was stated earlier of Q of X plus R of X over B. Q of X is short for the word quotient, which, if you recall, is the answer to a division problem. So this 0 is that Q of X for us. The R of X is our remainder. So it's always been there. We're just now giving it a function name. So in this case, it will be the -5. What's probably new to us is, what is this B of X? B of X is what we've been dividing by. And so in this case, it will be X plus 2. So the answer for that first table, or that first row, excuse me, it's going to end up being, once I can find my pen, there we go. Change this pen color. Oops. There we go. Okay. So our first answer is going to be 0 minus 5 over X plus 2. Now you may look at this and say, Mr. Lowry, we haven't done anything. Number one, that's kind of the point in the revelation that we'll talk about later. But if nothing else, we now know that our horizontal asymptote is 0. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and skip H of X for now, and I'm going to jump down to J of X. I want to highlight that one for a moment. Okay. So let me go back to my slide. Let me go ahead and clear all the ink here. And let me remind myself what is J of X. So J of X here is the 3x squared plus 7x minus 5. Still divided by X plus 2. So once again, it is 3x squared plus 7x minus 5 divided by X plus 2. Make sure I got that right. I think I do. Yes, I do. Okay. So if I go through and divide this, once again, using that expansion box, only because it's the method that I saw a lot of you decide to go with. Then we start out by putting 3x to the second in this box. Now, 3x squared divided by x is going to end up just being 3x. So 3x times 2 is 6x. So I have 6x. I want 7x in total. So I'm going to have to add another 1x to make these two add up to be 7x. So now I'm looking at 1x divided by x, which is also known as 1x. So the x's end up dividing out, and I get a 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. And so I have 2. I want -5. So I'm going to need -7 to make that work. Since there's no other number, I end up with -7 as my remainder. And to fit the format of Q of X is plus R of X over B of X, I'm going to have to put this -7 over the X plus 2. Once again, if you're a little fuzzy, this is kind of new learning for us, that this format that we have now is Q of X plus R of X over B of X. Let me choose another color. Thought I chose a different color. There, that's much better. So Q of X plus R of X over B of X. For us regarding division, nothing really changed until the very end. So instead of just saying remainder 7 or -7, we say -7 over what we've been dividing by. So when we look at this, this is our answer. So if we go back to our table, if we go back to that page 203 on here, our answer is going to be, okay, no, don't wait. Let's change the color again. Change the yellow. There we go. Boom. Okay. So our answer is going to be, when we rewrite this, 3x plus 1 minus 7 over x plus 2. Now, once again, This part here, that is our horizontal asymptote. That is what that is. Okay. And so just to kind of give you some idea, that's what's there. Now, for these two columns, I'll go ahead and fill them out. The degree of num and degree of den. They really mean the degree of your numerator and your degree of your denominator. So for g of x, your numerator is 0. You don't have an exponent. But for the denominator, it's a 1 because you have 1x. For h of x, you have 1, you have an x, and the denominator has an x, so that's a 1 as well. When you get to j of x, you have a 2. That's your biggest exponent in your denominator. I'm sorry, numerator. And for the bottom, it is a 1. And so you notice it's a couple different scenarios that's happening. So as you finish the chart, one thing that I'm going to leave you with is to notice as you write these results, what are you noticing as your pattern that exists, especially when you take care of k of x and m of x. And so I just want to hop on, just give you a little more guidance with this table. As I mentioned in class on Friday or November the 5th, whichever day you're looking at this, I will spend some time in class to talk about, make sure you have the right table, make sure everything's good to go before you do your check for understanding on Monday. You should have enough time with your check for understanding to take care of it in class. If we spend about 15, 20 minutes just talking about this chart first, to make sure you're all in a good place. So please, please, please get as far as you can with this table. We'll use it to talk about the items that are there and to go from there. So real quick, just as a quick reminder, if you have any information that you want to look at regarding the Canvas page or this course, you can definitely look there. Look at the Canvas page information. If you need a place to look at regarding where is the online information, like the booklets and what have you, the website is on the screen. It's a tiny URL. It'll take you to the Kendall Hunt website. You have to access those episodes and those activities accordingly. If you need to contact me, you have my email address. It's on the screen scrolling, as well as if you need to contact me a little more directly. If you have the Teams app, you can definitely hit me with the chat, and I'll definitely respond to it accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Have a great day and a great weekend. I will see you next time we're in class. Bye now.